Hey everyone, this is Rowdy's blog of Animation Bliss, and welcome to my first ever top 10 video. So today's top 10 video is going to be on my top 10 Saturday morning cartoons. And this was requested to me by the Cartoon Guy, and you can check out his channel in the description box below. So this was in all honesty, this was a difficult list to come up with because I had a lot of favorite Saturday morning cartoons, and so trying to figure out a top 10 list for all my favorite Saturday morning cartoons is like really hard because I like a lot of Saturday morning cartoons. And I think this was a really interesting subject to delve into because last week we discussed about the end of the Saturday morning cartoon era. Because of Vortex being taken off the air, and with Vortex being the very last Saturday morning cartoon block. So I think it's interesting to do a topic that deals with Saturday morning cartoons a week after the announcement about Vortex being canceled and the possible loss of Saturday morning cartoons. So here's my top 10 Saturday morning cartoons. Number 10 is Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday AM. I love this show a lot. I will admit, when I first saw Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday AM when I was little, I didn't really care for the show that much because even though I was a huge fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog games, I could never get into the cartoon shows that came out around that time. But years later, I started getting into the stories and the characters of the Saturday AM universe, and I started really enjoying Sonic Saturday AM. So this has become one of my favorite Saturday morning cartoons since then. Number 9 is DuckTales. I really love DuckTales. I love Scrooge McDuck as a character in that show, and I loved his relationship with Huey, Dewey, Louie, and later on Webby. And I also like all the adventures he goes on in search to become richer by searching for all this gold and stuff like that. So I thought that was a very interesting take on the show, is the fact that we have a rich guy who likes to go exploring and go on these adventures, and yeah, he's a very sympathetic character. So it's like a really great series for that reason. Number 8 is Animaniacs. I've always loved Animaniacs when I was little. I loved all the funny jokes they had put in the show. I love how Yakko, Wacko, and Dot always cause mayhem wherever they go. But probably the best part about the show is how much adult material they were able to get away with on that show. I mean, I look back at the show nowadays and I was like, man, how did they get away with all this adult content on a kids show? But that was one of the best reasons why I like Animaniacs, for that reason. It's rare to see cartoons that really get away with that much adult material in their in their own show. Number 7 is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I love Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I thought this show did a great job with the mystery context without being like too dramatic. And it's great for kids because the Rescue Rangers would do things that like they solve crimes and stuff like that, but it's done in a way that can relate easily to kids. So I really like that aspect of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, is the fact that they're able to make the cases enjoyable enough for kids, and yet enjoyable enough for adults who like crime and mystery drama in cartoon series. Number 6 is Looney Tunes. I absolutely love Looney Tunes. I've been watching Looney Tunes a lot ever since I was little, even though it came from an earlier time period. But I've always loved watching Looney Tunes. The characters were so memorable to me, especially Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and Tasmania Devil and Tweety Bird. And all those were very memorable characters to me. So I definitely loved watching Looney Tunes when I was little. Number 5 is Garfield and Friends. I'm a huge Garfield fan, so I really enjoyed this cartoon series about a cat who lives with his own unlucky owner John, and occasionally torments the dog Odie. And there was also this other segment called U.S. Acres, I believe, where you see Orson the pig and his friends also doing these separate adventures on the farm. So I thought this show was really creative and it was very hilarious. So, and as a Garfield fan, this is a great show to really watch. Number 4 is The Adventures of Gummy Bears. I love Gummy Bears. Ever since I was little, I've been watching Gummy Bears a lot. I love the storytelling of that show. I love all the characters. It's just a great show to watch if you're an early Disney fan. I've really enjoyed Gummy Bears a lot ever since I was little, and it's remained to be one of my most favorite shows to watch to this very day. Number 3 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987, 2003. Um I hold a lot of I hold a big candle to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I loved that show a lot when I was little, and it was like what introduced me to the Ninja Turtles in the first place, at least the 1987 version. But I think that was everybody else's first introduction to the Ninja Turtles. Also, if you haven't read the original Mirage comics, but I love Ninja Turtles a lot when I was little, and I love the kooky action that takes place there. I love the Turtles' personalities. I love how they did the Shredder in that show, and I also love the 2003 version, which was much closer to the Mirage comics, but it still remain faithful to the characters, and I really love the darker and grittier take done to the franchise. So I love both versions for that reason. I think they were both very well done, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remains to be one of my most favorite Saturday morning cartoons ever. Number two is X-Men the Animated Series. This was the series that introduced me to the X-Men overall. I love this series. I used to get up every Saturday morning just to watch X-Men the Animated Series. I love all the characters, especially Wolverine. He was my most favorite character from that show. Next to Rogue and Storm. So I really love X-Men the Animated Series, and this is what really introduced me to the X-Men comics. So I have to really hold this show to high regard for that reason. Now, before I get into my number one Saturday morning cartoon, I like to talk about some honorable mentions. So number one is The Tick. I enjoyed The Tick a lot when I was little. The reason why I didn't make my list because there was other superhero shows I liked a little better than The Tick, but I love the humor done on The Tick. I think it remains to be relevant to this very day, so I definitely really enjoyed The Tick. Number two is the Flintstones. Now, the reason why the Flintstones didn't get on the list is because even though I love the Flintstones a lot, I still watch the Flintstones to this very day. It was just one of those shows I watched more of on VHS than I did when it came on Saturday mornings. So that's why I didn't make the list because these are Saturday morning cartoons that I've been watching when it came on Saturday morning, rather than certain Saturday morning cartoons that did come on Saturday mornings, but I only was able to watch it through tape. Number three is Thundercats. Same reason as the Flintstones. It came on tape. I mostly watched Thundercats on tape. I love the show. I always watch Thundercats to this very day, no matter what. I love all the characters. I love how unique that world is. It's just a great series to begin with. And the last one is He-Man Masters of the Universe. Another Saturday morning cartoon I didn't watch when it originally ran, but I watched it on tape a lot, and I still enjoyed that show to this very day. So, I love the characters, even though I also like the 2003 version at just as much. But I just love He-Man Masters of the Universe. It really introduced me to He-Man as a character, and I have a lot to thank for He-Man for this. And my number one Saturday morning cartoon is Batman the Animated Series. This particular series is what defined the superhero genre for me. I've always been into superheroes ever since I was little, but Batman the Animated Series was like my most favorite Saturday morning cartoon of all time. This was the cartoon that really got me into Batman. I've been a huge Batman fan ever since this TV show came out, and I read a lot of Batman comics nowadays because of this show. So definitely Batman the Animated Series. The characters were done so well. It's like every time I read a Batman comic, I imagine Kevin Conroy's voice of Batman and Mark Hamill's voice of Joker. So that's how much of an impact this show had on me as a Batman fan. So tell me in the comments below, what were your favorite Saturday morning cartoons? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and to like our Facebook page. And if there's any other top 10 lists that you want us to do, please feel free to comment below and I'll see what I can do about it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's blog of Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.